Michael Applebaum here, and this video is what are the types of strain? Strain is a response to stress. Stress is demand placed on the body. There are three types of strain. There's involuntary strain, which is reflexive. Touch a hot stove and you pull your hand away. There's the voluntary type of strain, response to stress, which, for example, is a crying baby on an airplane. You have a choice. You can deal with it calmly or you can go berserk. And the third is sort of a hybrid of the two where you have partial control, involuntary, voluntary strain. So, for example, if you're a weightlifter and you're going to go into a competition, if you're a patriotic Frenchman, the fact of the matter is you're not going to develop a bicep that looks like the Eiffel Tower because it's not possible. But you can still get pretty big and well defined. You only have partial control over your development. So the three types of strain are involuntary, which is basically uncontrollable by you. Voluntary, which is basically controllable by you. And involuntary, voluntary strain, which is partially controllable by you. I'm going to give you a couple of quotes from a Stoic philosopher named Epictetus because they actually will make a difference if you think about them in regards to how to diminish the stress in your life. First, people are disturbed not by a thing, but by their perception of a thing. And the second is, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So to go back to our earlier examples of stressors where we talked about temperature issues, sound problems, too much light, overcrowding, traffic, substance abuse issues, these are basically, many of them, most of them, stressors, stress-causing agents, that are beyond your control. However, your strain, your response can be negative. Too hot, too cold? Okay, die a thermal death. That's a choice. It's too loud? Don't put in the earplugs, go deaf. Too bright? Go blind. But you have a choice. And likewise, you have a choice of whether your strain, your response to the stressor, which is usually involuntary, your reaction can be positive. Too hot, too cold? Change clothes. Too loud? Put in earplugs. Too bright? Put on shades. So these are the facts. Stress remains neutral. It is an event. It is a demand placed on the body. Two people, bus stop, bus late, one berserk, one calm. Strain is neutral. It is a response. It is simply a response. It is neither good nor bad, but you have control over strain. So you can tip it one way or the other. Stress can result in the strain known as improvement. And that would be, for example, positively habituating or inuring to a stressor so that you get better at it. Whether stress results in a positive strain response is under your control in many, if not most, instances. Certainly under those rare circumstances that are essentially spinal reflexes like hot stove or step on hot pavement or a pinprick, for example, you don't have much control. That's uncontrollable. It's involuntary. And there's the hybrid, the voluntary-involuntary, like weightlifting, where you don't have complete control, but you do have some control. And of course, finally, for most situations where the stressor is not in your control, you actually do have control over how you respond. So the three types of strain: voluntary, controllable; involuntary, uncontrollable, but not all that common; and voluntary, involuntary, over which you have partial control, and that's also pretty common in your life.